All right. Welcome as we are in midst of our raid here. The horribleness that comes as our brave heroes have seen their friend Asphalt be murdered before their eyes as they have come in and done several massive murders themselves, ready to steal by the sword and by blood. And in particularly have decided to pursue bloodshed over profit as they have come in and gone here. Surprising how bloodthirsty they really are, leaving treasure and going for murder. It is into this that we come in, and if anyone can share, we can show everybody, but get it as currently Tiny Tusk stares at the deceased Asphalt, and it is her turn.
So Tiny has kind of hopped up there, sees that Asphalt's down, but she's probably okay. Yeah, that's Asphalt. She'll be all right. I can help her. And so I'm gonna take my crossbow, my heavy crossbow here, and I'm looking inside, and I see Scout H, Guard Q, and Scout G. Okay. But there's also a Guard J. Oh, and a Scout D. I didn't even see that.
Jay is unconscious.
Unconscious. How about
the
Scout
sole
D?
unconscious person.
Is Scout D down?
Nope.
No. All right. Are they hiding?
They've got some cover, but they're not hiding.
Okay. I am going. I think I can ignore that. Let me check.
So from you, they'll have full cover from your current position.
For my current position. Okay. All right. Okay. I was just seeing if Crossbow Expert gave me anything against that, but I don't think it does. Okay. That's all right. So I will therefore, if they're in full cover, I'm going to I'll take a look down at Scout G and kind of
be 3/4 cover.
3/4. So I'm going to hop in for 5 feet of movement. I'm going to come down here for another 5 feet.
There you go.
And at this point, how in cover are they?
So you got a clean shot now.
All right. So Scout G, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot using my heavy crossbow. All right. My bonus action is to move the my Hunter's Mark onto them, because I remember that's one note I made was to reposition Hunter's Mark. So Hunter's Mark is on Scout G, and now I will shoot. Ugh. That is a 12.
Okay, they duck and it hits the wall.
Okay, I'm gonna snarl to show my tiny orc teeth, and I'm gonna take another shot.
Nice.
Haha, 14.
All right, that does hit.
Oh, okay. So I aimed for their mouth this time, and let's see here. I'm gonna get piercing damage. 8 piercing, and my Hunter's Mark gives me 5 force.
Okay.
And also, as a result of that, I can only push them, so I don't think they can go any further. So they're good.
All right, they're bloodied, and Bjorg.
Matt, I'm sharing the map.
Cool.
Okay. From where I am, can I see Guard Q?
As soon as I locate Bjork here, there we go. Okay, so there and
Or am I hiding behind the door?
you can see them, yeah.
Okay. Then bonus action, steady aim, and
They will have cover. But
okay, that's fine. Aiming with my longbow.
you got it.
Ooh, and that is a 19. So with killer
Alright.
instinct, so 26 total. That's a crit for me.
Very good.
Okay, so 4, 5, 9, 13 plus some sneak attack.
How do you want to kill it?
Oh, right through the eye, and that's not even full. And that'll be my turn.
You got it. All right. So, what's this then? Scout kind of comes up and is going to target Kurgana here. So first arrow is a dirty 20. That is 6 piercing damage.
As Corgana falls beneath the table.
Nice. And then, I mean, Aiden's not here, so they're going to turn to Bjorg. Gives her a final arrow for a 16 to hit. Does that hit you, Bjorg?
Yeah, sorry. Uncanny dodge.
Okay, yeah. So that's 5 reduced to 2 piercing. Yeah. Yeah, and as a note, so the way that this thing particularly works these days is, let me back here. When I go over to do things, I lose sight of like everyone else's ACs, so I cannot fully know unless I happen to have it in my head.
Oh no, that's fine. I was muted trying to talk to you.
Oh, good. Okay, and then the scout here in the room will go ahead and let 2 arrows fly at Tiny Tusk. One misses, but a 22 to hit Tiny Tusk.
Yes, that will hit.
All right, that is 6 damage.
Ooh.
And
Oh wait. Oh crap. Hold on. My I forgot. I had my my stuff up from last session. So that is apologies. Let me
Disadvantage?
it's my fighting stance. Okay. Yeah, if they're within 30 feet of me, then the creature has to succeed on a con save against my DC, or they have disadvantage on every attack until their next turn.
all right, so I got 21.
21, yeah, I'm pretty sure that passes.
Okay.
Okay. So never mind.
Oh, good.
And it only happens once, not per person or anything, just once per turn round.
Gotcha. We got Scout H, which is going to back up on out of the swirling angelic ghosts. Like they're like, Griff's wife, no! Is there fire 2 arrows at Griff? Lore 2 misses. Then it'll be Asphalt's turn. Then is guard's turn, which he's knocked out, and Kurgana.
A success.
Okay. Griff. Griff.
Sorry, I was muted. I do think that even though Griff is worried about Asphalt, he's going to take out the current threats in the room first. So he's gonna move. So I think here the emanation ends up still hitting Scout G. Yeah. So by it entering their space, they get battered with it.
Indeed. Yeah, go ahead and roll the damage for that.
Spirit Guardians. 13 radiant damage.
Okay. How do you want to kill him?
As Griff moves south a little bit, they just battered into him and like sears their flesh, but not their clothes. Because it's magic and magic does that.
Nice.
And then that was 5 movement, so then I'm gonna go north. 5, 10, 15. I think that hits Scout H at that point.
I believe so. All right, roll the damage.
Eight. Much less this time.
Indeed. But how do you want to kill him?
It does the same thing, just ah! Skin flesh. Dead. And then with the threats in this room, gone. Griff is gonna focus on Asphalt.
Nice.
Unless someone says something about Corgana. Kaka, I mean.
All right, so what does this look like?
I think after all of the threats have been taken out, Griff turns to Asphalt and kind of like leans down to check Asphalt's pulse.
Yes, it's cold. No pulse.
And then this look of pure horror dawns on his face. Asphalt's gone. She's and he kind of like looks up at Tiny because Orin's not here. It's like Asphalt's dead.
Teddy can respond if she wants. I mean, we're trying to have a moment here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that never mind. So Tiny is like a little confused. She's like, no, she's fine. She's fine. Just help her up. I'll help her up. Just have her lean on me.
Tiny, she's gone.
No, she's right here. Look down. Help me up. Help her up.
You see a big gaping hole on her chest and her eyes, colorless and pale.
Tiny freezes.
Griff, what are you doing?
I don't have the diamond. I don't know about the diamond.
Yep. Well, I know, but you do have an action, and so that's
Oh.
why I keep kind of going. All you've done is use your movement.
I know.
I got 2 people using your movement. I keep forgetting that.
I don't think that Griff would use a spell on Asphalt knowing that like there's no life in her and not knowing about the diamond at this point. So actually I think he would probably end up shouting to Bjorg, knowing they're out in the other room. Bjorg, is anybody else down?
Yes, Corgana is down.
All right. And then I don't think I have. I've moved
Wait, what do you
15
mean anybody else?
I had 15, 20, 25, 30, and then that. I don't think I would see Corgana on the other side of the table there, would I?
It's up to you.
Evens, I see her. I see her. I'm gonna healing word her. Loop, loop, loop. You had 7 health.
Do you answer my question?
I kind of after the magic flows towards Corgana, and like one of the wisps kind of like explodes over her in a shower of sparks. Griff kind of just turns to you with like a very sorrowful expression, and is like, "Asphalt's down."
Okay, so we'll have to wait till we get to my turn for me to give her the diamond. Or him.
Fair enough. And then we'll go to Tiny Tusk.
Okay. So Tiny, seeing Asphalt lying there, and not sure what to do about that. She takes a quick moment to just kind of say to the Valakan great ones, warriors, I say you shall be avenged. Just realized I was doing Galaxy Quest. And then she will come running out of here. 10. Well, actually, she can go through people. 15. Let's see. 20. 25. 30. And if she sees Scout down here, she's going to try to hit Scout. I don't know what the cover situation looks like right now.
Half cover.
All right, so let's go ahead and put the Hunter's Mark on them. And now I will take a shot at disadvantage. Is that how that works?
No.
No.
They just have an increased AC.
Oh, okay. All right. First one is a 27.
That hits.
That's 6 piercing and 4 force.
All right. How do you want to
And-
kill him?
Yeah, she would just with reddening eyes just shoot that one as if it's nothing. And I assume she doesn't see any other enemies from this end.
Nope.
Okay. So let's see. I guess that was her action. So unless she has a thing on here. No, she does not have that. Okay. I think that's pretty much it then for now.
You got it. Then Bjorg.
Freaking out, she actually drops her longbow and is rummaging frantically through her backpack, digging for that diamond to give to Griff.
Okay.
Here, use this. And then, seeing that there are no enemies in here, she picks up her longbow, and she is going to move to here, and she is going to shout, "Come out, or death is going to be upon you!" And that will be my turn. Oh, and I'm going to ready my bow just in case somebody comes out threatening.
Okay. Sounds good. And Corgana.
I'm muted. Corgana gets up, sees that, or hearing Bjorg on that portion of things. Are there any torches on the walls here? Like, what's illuminating this place?
It's torches and stuff.
And torches and stuff. Fires get out of control relatively quick. It's building made of wood, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't stone. I'd like to look around to see if there's any shiny things available to grab.
There's tons of shiny things. I described it when y'all walked in the room, but I'll get to you here. That's where we are. All right, so. Oh, that's right. Duh. Here it is. Okay. So. Yeah. 3 piles here. Ultimately, there's a treasure chest on the west table. The east table, there's a pile of silverware. Then there's a throne in here that has the holy symbol of Umir.
Where's it's on the west table, you said is the treasure chest?
Yep.
I would like to, is the west table, I don't know which one's north, so am I at the west table, or is that the one to the south, and based off the image?
North is to the right.
North is to the right, so north, south, east, west. Okay, so I'm at the west table. I'd like to grab the chest.
Yeah, you can pick up the chest.
And I will start heading out with it. Because it's not going to do Griff any services. They have to keep worrying about my ass falling to the ground.
Okay, very good. Anything else?
Let's get our shit and get out of here.
All right, Griff.
Okie dokie. So Griff, goes to Asphalt's body. He kind of kneels down with the diamond in his hands, and he holds it over her corpse. And for those like in the room, you would see his wife's form behind him. Her hands like kind of like cup Griff's shoulders, and you hear like kind of like this wispy ambient kind of voice say, "Bless her with the undying flame." And Griff kind of like holds it in his hands, and the wisps from his spirit guidance kind of like start spinning around as he focuses on what he's trying to accomplish. And he says, "I've never really believed in the undying flame like Mana did. I was raised to think that resurrection was wrong. But she proved time and time again that the undying flame is real. That even after death, life, divinity continues to burn. And yours is not going out this day." And then, and as all of the wisps around him spin, they all shatter. And so too does the diamond in his hands, and it's like his hands light on fire, and it all kind of like gets sucked into Asphalt's body, and the wound over it just like heals over with it sucked into her chest as he casts Revivify.
Nice. And for purpose of this, Asphalt is able to groggily follow along, so no one has to carry the body here. Very good. As the power, as a huge pulse of power, as you witness the life come back to Asphalt. Anything else, Griff?
Also, for the sake of this, Spirit Guardians is gone.
Sounds good. Tiny Tusk.
All right. So they're still in there. So I assume Tiny has no idea what's going on in there. So I'm going to move her see. About 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And she comes across this guard and she takes out her
Unconscious guard lying on the floor.
She takes out her dagger. And she looks at the guard and she says, You killed our chief. And for a minute, she kind of hovers the dagger there, but stops.
Okay.
And just kind of falls on top of the guard and just kind of hugs him and buries her head into his chest and just like bawling.
Alrighty. So crying to the guard. And Bjorg.
No reaction from the door.
Nope.
Okay. Then I am gonna walk up to the door, which I'm guessing is right there.
Yep.
And actually, no, you know what? What I want to do instead is I want to run at the door and try to shoulder it open.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
Ooh. 10.
10. You run. As it kind of sticks for a second, and you kind of fall back. We'll take you a bludgeoning damage.
How many?
1.
Okay. In that case, I push the door. I see if the door's unlocked and push it open.
It is unlocked. Push it open. Get over here. Here we go. You come in.
And there's nobody in there.
No, you do see somebody. Give me a sec. There they are. And they fire crossbow at you.
Uncanny dodge? Oh, well, I guess, yeah.
Okay. There's a 17 to hit.
Well, that'll hit.
So 7, and you can uncanny dodge if you want.
Yeah. Uncanny dodge.
So that'd be 3 damage as it hits you in the chest.
On your knees, or you'll have the wrath of the rest of my group upon you.
Okay. And then go to them. They're just going to run up, take out their rapier, and go to stab. So, you've murdered all my men. And that will be a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
All right. Corgana.
Corgana will throw the chest out the front door. And then Ghostbuster style start collecting all of the silverware on the table.
Nice.
Yep, pretty much. Just going down the table and just swiping it into a big giant bundle.
Sounds good. Then Griff.
Griff kind of like check like is stunned that like it worked. And then sees Bjorg getting attacked, and then he's going to kind of like refocus his magic, and one of his eyes begins to glow with that same radiant fire, and it's going to shoot out, and I'm casting Eye of Ra at him.
Nice.
For 25.
That hits.
Pew! 5 radiant damage.
All right. They are bloodied. They scream. We'll do Tiny Tusk.
Okay, so now that Tiny's hearing a bunch of commotion, she's one part annoyed, one part angry. And she says, "Excuse me a minute." And she's gonna right about here, passes through Asphalt, says, "Excuse me, Asphalt." And I think has kind of a shot of him here.
Yeah.
I think she can move one more if she has to, but yeah. So she takes out her crossbow, or really already had it out. Bonus action, put the rest of her hunter's mark on this guy. Yep. And is looking at him and saying, "No. Bad noble." And is going to aim her crossbow, and she's going to take a shot. The first one is a 17.
That hits.
And as she hits, she says, "Hello, my name is Tiny Tusk. You killed my chief. Prepare to die." And 13 piercing.
How do you want to kill him?
Ooh, don't even have to roll the force. She says, "Get down," and shoots him right around the stomach and lets him drop down. And I think as soon as he falls over, she turns, realizing that Asphalt is right there. And then she just hugs Asphalt.
Very nice. All right. Then with that, we'll go and exit initiative. And you can tell me what you'd like to do.
Is Asphalt a ghost? She's mumbling.
Or actually, I apologize. We can't exit initiative. So I forgot. But I am doing the music because it's so intense. Because you guys, you're in this or you've retreated from the raid. So then
Got
we go to Bjorg.
I am going to, seeing as he's down, I was going to take him to our chief, but seeing as he's down, I am going to go grab Corgana and check out the rest of the buildings.
Okay, move your character as you wish because this is still by turn.
Oh, I got to move it on the right spot. Okay, so that's my 30 feet of movement. And I holler at Corgana. Corgana, let's go to the other buildings. And I guess that would be my turn.
Go to Corgana.
Corgana's gonna take the wrapped up silverware and put it in the throne chair. And pick up the throne chair and start carrying that outside. Who gives a fuck about the other buildings? Grab shit. Whatever you went back further for to waste fucking time while people are dying outside. And let's get the fuck out of here.
There could be more stuff in the other buildings.
There's 7 of us. Move your fucking ass.
All right. So Corgana, you're grabbing more stuff.
Yep, I have the silverware in the chair and I'm carrying the chair out.
Very nice. Then we'll get to
Mama, yeah.
Griff. So of a note, real quick here, I should say, where are we? Okay, so there is some lockboxes in the barracks, and in these chambers, there is much treasure, including a circlet on the head of the slain Thane, a tapestry, and a ceremonial blade. So, okay, never mind. Okay, so I was right the first time. You've killed the commander, therefore you're able to loot everything at your leisure. So we are out of the initiative and where we're counting the time.
Yeah. Tiny's plan had been to go check out that noble guy's stuff to see all that fancy stuff he was wearing.
Perfect. All right. I told you what's on him, so you get that.
Yeah, pick up the circlet. I guess the ceremonial blade that I'll have us take a look at later. And
the blade's not on him; it's somewhere
oh,
else. But I mean, you can
sorry.
get the stuff. But
yeah, just kind of grab his lockbox and all the stuff from that room down there.
yeah,
of
the
6.
circlet's worth about 50. The blade's worth 25 gold.
Yeah, let's put the circlet on my head for now, and just kind of grab any fancy jewelry, put it on my hands, and just kind of suddenly look like a little queen orc just walking around.
You said the circlet's worth how much?
50.
50, and the blade is worth 20?
25.
25.
Then there's the tapestry of Umir, the god smiting a Buraki army. It's worth 25 gold. So you wanted to check out the other areas too?
I do. Is this a door over here?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will run out the door and I will holler, kind of stand between the two buildings and holler, "Your commander is dead. If you're in there, If there's anybody in there, come out now and surrender.
Yeah. So you see at this point, all the soldiers around, as you've been yelling at this, do begin to surrender here. So to get to that, and you can begin to investigate.
Oh.
A cow.
It's got milk.
However, so hidden in the hay of the dairy, you find a 50 GP ivory idol of a cow god.
Oh. Oh, Tiny's new deity.
And you can take, in the other area, you can find stables. You can take the 5 riding horses.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
As well as a warhorse saddle with 50 gold that's hidden in the hay here.
Nice. Do they have anything for like sleds or upgrading sleds, since that's my business back home?
They don't. But let's see here. So we do have. All right. So we did have a treasure chest with 400 silver. It was 400 silver pieces that were in the treasure chest. The silverware is worth 50 gold, and the throne there was worth 50 gold. And I think that is it. Yep, that is a treasure you find here.
Is Corgana carrying the throne?
To the best of Corgana's ability, given their 9 strength.
And then I think Tiny's going to try to climb and sit on it while you're carrying it.
You're gonna sit on a bunch of silverware that's gonna stick you in.
Ow. It's worth the pain.
All right. Then there were lock boxes in the barracks here.
Mhm.
And let's see here. Let me get to that. That is going to be, let me get my dice going. It's 120 D6 worth of silver pieces, so I have to click up here. Let's see here. La la la. It is a gold piece each too, so it's 12 gold total, and then 420 silver.
We need to get Asphalt back to camp. I don't know how long she's going to be standing.
Maybe we could lay her down on one of these mattresses and just carry the mattress. And is that actually Asphalt, or is that like undead?
Sorry, I'm chewing.
How can you eat at a time like this?
I don't think she's undead. I think she's alive again.
Okay. Well, maybe she'll be able to talk again tomorrow. We'll get all this stuff and it'll make her happy.
All right.
Matt, I have a question. You said that the townsfolk were surrendering. So what does that look like specifically? Are they going back to the homes and the raiders are leaving them alone?
Well, the townsfolk have left. It's the soldiers that no longer put up a fight, basically.
Okay. So there are soldiers. There are soldiers that are still left.
Generally, yeah, there's soldiers like all around the town.
Okay, but
But
the
they're no
people
longer fighting.
The people have actually fled.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in addition here, so all right, you have 4 casualties due to the amount of time you spent raiding this place.
We can't use spells to fix that, right?
Correct. Because that was happening while you were raiding, because you took very long to do so.
We have captives and we have the surrendered guards, right, Matt?
Yes. Though they wouldn't count in that type of calculation, but you would have your captives.
Right. I'm gonna have them all gathered up to a central place. Since we're apparently going to spend a minute or 3 here, or at least it's what can be, since we have
Yeah. So I mean, look, you only have really 1 guard here who you didn't slaughter in the stronghold.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm going to have him brought there too,
Very nice.
and I'd like to speak to them while they're going through all this other shit.
All right.
With arrows and all still sticking out of me, like a human or a dragonborn pincushion. And what was this town called? Aristad, right? Yep.
Yeah.
People of Aristad. Today has been a unpleasant day for all of us. While there has been a high cost paid by your village, it will mean an even harder winter to come, especially with no leadership due to their stubbornness and difficulty in accepting our visitation. We do not take thralls as part of our clan Ragvar, but you have an opportunity this day to continue to live either under the hardship of what is going to be a very cruel winter to you, or you and your families may join us. Those that are unable to fight, we will find a way to get you to our clan primary, and you may live amongst us as equals. Or those of you that can fight can help secure the future for your families and take part with us. There are risks, as you saw here today, but it will give you the opportunity to build a better tomorrow and have better odds of having a tomorrow, rather than staying here and dealing with the cruelties that winter will have for you, weakened as you are. The choice is yours.
Okay, give me a persuasion check, please.
We have some aid from Bobby. Are those advantages?
Yes.
I will take one of those. Whew. That'll be thank you, Bobby. 23, please.
All right. I would say in that case, what did it sway? 23. Yeah, you are able to recruit. Yes, I would say from the fallen, between the soldiers and your captives, 6 are willing to join your raid here.
Okay. And then Corgana's going to go find himself to the medic tent.
Okay, so with this, you're moving in, getting out of the town more or less still with everything. Anything of note anybody wants to do?
Are there any children in this town that are homeless or
Any children were taken away, like, and they're all hiding in the woods with adults.
they're hiding in the woods with the dogs?
Adults.
Oh,
With the people who also got out. As far as like captives, yeah, you wouldn't have taken any children captives. They wouldn't have been in the places in which you took your captives.
what about any orcs?
Yeah, there'd be half orc people here.
Okay. Tiny wants to try something. She didn't catch most of that from Corgana, obviously, because she was kind of raiding and
Okay, I'll just let you know there's no more recruitment
no more recruitment. Okay,
because that was kind of the recruitment check.
that's fine. Then never mind.
Okay. But we can note that the next raid will leave room for you there, Tiny. This is always the next one. All right, anything else? Okay. So with that, then you make your way back to camp. As you return, you can see that the camp is a little bit damaged. It seems monsters had attacked while you were away. However, there are no casualties. It seems that they recount the tale of being able to swiftly get to the ships, and as they were in the ships, they shot arrows of flame, and you see the charred wood and flesh of half tree, half flesh-like beings. As Alhair Renal, who had come as one of the main people here.
Morgana's gonna look at the ship, look at the others. We need to talk tonight. Well, victory was ours. Things need to be better.
Let me get Asphalt set up with the other wounded.
I said tonight. Morgana will check on the survivors of the ships.
Good. I would say generally here, with the mood coming back, it's an odd thing. People watched 4 of their number die and hear about Asphalt, and they can do math as well as others, and seeing that it wasn't quite a gain between the losses and the resources spent. The amount of time that their hairsters spent taking or attacking after the raid had complete after they had made their way to the longhouse. There was this kind of deep thought of wasted resource and talk of especially those who came in and saw the absolute bloodshed of the viciousness, and they're contemplating trying to understand what it is the clan they're in. Is it this clan that's merciless and rips out those and bears no care for mercy, or is it something else?
Wait, we get a vibe, or do we hear that?
You may hear a little bit of it, but it is also a vibe. I mean, it's just sort of they're just looking at it, right? So they look and they putting things together and about time spent and just the absolute bloodiness of it for like a negative gain at this point.
Tiny, I think Tiny will just ask one flat out, like, "What are you looking at?"
No, I would say then they all just look at it. They go, "I don't know what you mean."
I mean, I don't know how to talk math, but I want to help.
No, just during the spring, everything was so careful and cared. I think some of us thought that is how maybe Ragvar would think about life, and then we're here and it was just death. And
Yeah.
even when it came to our lives, it was killing
There's a lot of that.
and victory over life.
Victory over life.
Yes, that is what all of you did. You chose to have complete victory rather than all of us survive, which maybe that's who we are. We care victory over each other. It is of a greater value not to survive, not to live through the winter, but to be victorious, even if our family dies for this victory.
That's awful.
That's how you led us today.
To be fair, I missed a lot of the planning. It was almost like I had technical issues.
Okay, but Tiny can't do that though. Tiny's got her own.
Tiny really has no idea what the planning though either, and I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I don't know if this was something that was actually discussed in game or not. To be fair,
It wasn't, and it was. Well, here's the thing: Tiny participated. Tiny never called for retreat. She's a commander, so
gotcha.
So I want to be clear with this. I guess from this person's perspective, if a commander starts talking like this, you're going to do more harm than good, because they don't want to hear that from the commander. It's either we're going to be different, or be a mistake, or yes, this is how we're going to do. But this idea of like, yeah, I'm a commander, but I have no power and I can't be held responsible.
That's not what she's saying.
I understand. That's just how to this person, when it's like I was involved, I don't know if I was there. They're like, well, who are you then? So it's more of that.
Tiny
So
also
she'll-
put their arrows through multiple people's eyes and skulls.
They see Tiny's arrows. No, it's so good. So continue.
I'm not. This is my first war. Before war, I was, I was told to do things like clean this off, or clean this mug, or go get the horses ready, or go feed the dogs, and I always did those things 100%. Or even during the winter when the storm came and those kids needed help, I went and I made sure they were taken care of. Or even during spring, when Cole fell, I thought I should take over for him. I think I wasn't looking at it the way you are. And I should have been. because I think we did handle this poorly. And I'm not gonna lie, I might not have realized it at first, but well, you probably heard about Asphalt. And I thought for a minute that I was going to take out my dagger and avenge Asphalt. And I went up to this guard who was on the ground, and I was so angry. And I was ready to plunge it right through his heart. And then I stopped. And I think in my mind, I thought it was because I was weak and I couldn't do it. But now that I'm thinking about it, thinking about what you said, I think it's because I'm strong. And I think it's a sign that we can do better. I chose to spare him. And I think he'll become a valuable member to our clan. And I think that he will pay it forward. And that maybe in some ways he already has, because in the weirdest of ways, while he slept, he taught me something about life. And I was willing to forgive. And I think we shouldn't do what we did today again. And I'm going to make sure I mention this when I speak with the others. Thank you for talking to me. And please always feel free to, because I am a leader and I'm responsible for a lot of people, but I'm also an orc, just an orc who's figuring out things too and trying to make the world a little better. It doesn't mean I'm always going to get it right or perfect. And I think I have to be willing to listen to everyone. So please never be afraid to share what's on your mind.
All right. Nod.
Then she'll walk away.
Upon hearing that, I follow Tiny. Tiny,
Oh, hey, Bjork.
how are you doing?
A little better now that, Asphalt's walking around, but I don't have the names of the people who fell today. And it feels like I should have their names.
Then we will find out their names and we will honor them appropriately.
Good.
But I wanted to say I'm very proud of you. I heard what you said to one of our clansmen, and I think that you are growing exponentially. You are becoming more mature and understanding of things and stepping into what it means to be a leader and being able to take care of yourself and your people, because these are your people. Please remember that. And everything that you do for them. So I am very proud of you. And I hope that we can continue to grow together, because I also was very, very upset about Asphalt dying. I am thankful that she is back, but I raced into a room and I threatened someone, and I should not have done it the way I did. I should have just asked them to surrender politely. So I think we can both learn from this. And that's a first step toward what happens going forward.
But you don't have to worry, Bjork. I mean, you've grown enough. I'm the short one.
No, you're not short. You're cute and sweet most of the time. You hold back your rage until it's absolutely necessary. And hopefully, both of us can learn to hold our rage in a little bit better going forward.
I'm really gonna try.
That's all we can ask. We'll work on it together.
Good. Well, we'll remind each other.
That's right. That's what friends do. Because you are my friend, Tiny.
And you are my sunshine, Bjorg.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's go shine some sun somewhere. I'm sure people need to be cheered up.
I agree. And find out those names too.
Yes, I agree.
One quick timeout, real quick. Just ask a question
Sure.
or a clarifying question, because I was also reading the chat. I think I was also confused. What are the determining factors to winning? So I know now that there's the total victory. What are the other ones?
Cool. So there's is a lot of it's more the perception of victory. So and it's the actions you take. So for instance, the idea of raiding is more of getting everything you can and getting out as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So, and again, I think I'm going to talk to Bobby here too, since he's kind of chatting on the side here. As we're talking, he's so it's not that there was something wrong done, just decisions influence how people look at things. So, you cleared the initial room very quickly, in which there was, when stated, there was talked about all this treasure in piles around the room.
Mhm.
And that room was cleared, and then you could have grabbed it and left, or you could push and want to kill more and get more. And so that decision to go further and further and further, that decision alone cost greater loss. And so the people being led by people are just figuring out, what does that mean? How do we make decisions? And is the decisions all about victory, like total victory, or is it about keeping us all alive so we can survive together? And
Okay.
at the time, they were more like, it's victory. That is what our hairstyles demonstrated to us. And that was simply the value they were taking. So it's not about right and wrong. It's just about people seeing this. What are the things they're taking away from it?
Okay. I think in my mind, I was thinking this is a headquarters. We need to go get rid of the boss, and then we win the raid. And so now that I'm looking back on it, what you're saying is, if we come up to those points of like coming up to a door, then that door signifies in some way either we're continuing and pushing our luck, or we stop here before we go into that next room.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. So at any time, it's always, what's the cost of going forward and what's the cost of retreating. And so that's what it is. Just it's how many values. And so, for instance, there's a certain. I'll reveal the mechanic that was here for this. These change per raid.
Oh wow.
Well, so here's the thing: you have to listen to the descriptions.
Yeah.
It's in the description. The idea of the raid mechanic of how this is written is that you the only, because it's happening so fast, all you get that description to make your determinations of risk factors.
So it has more of that strategic mind placement when you're
But again,
okay.
Your people aren't going to leave you. They're just going to change how they think, and your clan's going to look a little different. You are always the heroes for now, unless you start being really, really crazy. But I'm saying, for instance, they weren't doubting you. They were just changing how they think. They were following their leader's example. right?
So-
And so
Gotcha.
that's what I'm just so you guys are like, oh, we're gonna lose our black clan. No, they're just gonna be like, okay, this is the type of clan we are now. You're shaping the clan by your decisions, right?
This is values that we hold to be true. We are willing to sacrifice a couple more people to go ahead and either kill more and get more. But they're also looking at it. We spent 300 gold to go ahead and save somebody as additional in the cost math of okay, killing people is more important than getting what we need and moving on and holding people that we proclaim to hold dear. And then we also didn't take any survivors outside of one person because everyone just kept shooting people repeatedly.
Which is fine. My whole point is that I'm just, and again, in this conversation, I'm kind of letting you know this is people just looking at it, giving you an idea of what
So,
people.
this has me thinking. Okay, so next raid I might be approaching it very differently because I think I am understanding this setting has it's very different. So I'm kind of going
it's kind of like as we continue on, our clan alignment changes.
Yeah, it's sort of like a old school BioWare type game.
A little,
actions.
yeah. And so in
Okay.
this case, for instance, as soon as that now, thankfully you killed the person by the end of the 10th round, so I only had to roll one of these. But for this, and again, it's going to be harder. This was easy mode of the raid.
Mhm.
For this particular one, it was starting the 10th round, and then every round after that, you would have lost 1d6 worth of people.
Shoot.
So it's speed, and then again, kind of going, okay, when do we stop? Where's the thing? And do we think there's more gold? Now, again, in this particular one, I described. Now, again, this was meant for us to have this conversation kind of after. It was meant for us to learn.
Gotcha.
So to be very clear, this is why the first grade is structured like this. To go, oh, I described piles of treasure everywhere. So you kind of found the bulk of what you were going to find, probably.
Yeah.
And then, well, that's completionist. It cool. That just shows the value over treasure versus lives, and then they're going to think that way. It doesn't mean they're going to be again a mutiny or anything, but just going to reflect on the type of clan, that type of thing.
Well, thank you.
Cool.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to get totally into
yeah.
it. Now, that being said, too, to be honest, there are things of like greater warrior reputations you might get the more you entirely take out. But do you want more reputation or do you want more of your people alive? These are the things your characters are dealing with in the role of leadership. Glory versus more people left. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that type of these other questions. In other words, almost everything gets rewarded in some way, but almost everything also gets a somewhat negative consequence in some way. It's meant to all your decisions matter, right? So
Yeah, so like theoretically, if we like pulled out after getting the loot in that the first main room, like the vibe would be more like, yeah, we didn't get as much treasure as we probably could have because there were other places, but there were no casualties, and on top of that, if we succeeded the same way with like the check for recruitment, we would have gained people, and there would be this general consensus of like, oh well, we got more people, like we proved that we were efficient and honorable, but like we didn't get as much as we could have, but everybody's alive. Good on you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We can chime in again. I just wanted to get some clarification on things because I also was a little like, because I was thinking that wasn't my intention, but I think I just need to and I see what you mean about learning after doing, because otherwise it wouldn't make a lot of sense as we're reflecting back.
Yeah, and that's why there's a lot of room for change. I'm not going to go. Just was
cool.
Giving these senses here.
All right. Oh, time in.
Cool. Okay. All right. So getting the names, I'll let you
That was never the case, Bobby. That was discussed when we did the rating stuff.
But now we know. Okay, so it's good to be which way the generous rolls. Cool. That's why I keep saying it's not saying wrong. So
Yeah.
So timing in, and we got another one. What are we? Anything else? I'll let those of you getting the names go ahead and pick some names because it wasn't any named people necessarily, which matters greatly to some other things. But this would be unnamed clansmen as far as the game's concerned.
All right. Let's come up with some names real quick.
Because at the end, there's like a certain thing I have to calculate for any named NPCs that died. And so I'm just making this line so that I don't. Your desire to have nice, fun closure doesn't screw you in the end.
I'm naming one JoJo.
Nice.
I'm naming one Morlug.
I like it.
Anyone else?
While things are going on and they're thinking up names, Corgana would go seek out Hrafn.
Okay.
I'm gonna name one Aldolf.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna have to.
I'm not going to honor that one.
I'm good with.
Okay, we're uncomfortable. We're uncomfortable with Adolf.
Okay, how about Meldoon?
We're good. Hey, Aiden.
Hey, sorry, everyone was cutting out a ton for me, and I couldn't understand anything that was going on.
And Rupio.
All right. So you're trying to find a Hrafn here.
Yeah.
You can see he's talking, taking things to the camp, making sure there's guards around. Looks in a worthwhile raid, I hear. Congratulations, Herr Sir.
Wasn't the raid I wanted, and not the raid that I imagined when hearing and answering your recruiting calls. But it is done.
No raid is what we want. Never will be. But without it, winter will kill us all.
I agree. It just reminded me of the raids when we were both younger, and outside of ripping people screaming from their homes, felt very much the same.
Yeah, thanks. But the captives you took are free to go. Many are. They will continue here. Much different than the hundreds in chains we brought to be slaves.
He just scratches his own forearm and. So, what is your. When the druids from the Prismatic Circle come, how are you going to deal with them? How are we going to deal with them?
He kind of sits there and thinks, we will see. Maybe they'll never come. They didn't come this winter. But, or maybe we'll miss them this next one. But maybe we'll have enough steel and heart to take them on, or that will be our tale, or maybe the people of Ragval will demand that we go to the way of thralls once more. And maybe then they'll have a different chief to do that with. I have to believe it's possible for us to survive those monsters without becoming monsters ourselves. And if it's not, maybe that's an honorable death.
I'd rather join you that way and take their perspective. But we've much to do, and I'm going to have a discussion about this with the other houses tonight if you wish to stop by. But at the same time, I know that someone's got to be celebrating.
Speaking of which, you'll have to decide. I think we can stay here 2 weeks without drawing much attention before we move on to the next target, but it's up to you, all of you. Do what you want. If we want to spend more time around here shoring things up or making what we need, what you think we need.
I'll talk with the others. Any targets in mind that we can have might influence our decision making?
Oh. On the way to Airfoot, I think Kirkbridge would be next. But we shall see.
What type of town is Kirkbridge? Water town? A fort? What?
It is mostly landlocked. It's pinned between the river and the forest edge. It's much more heavily guarded than this. This got everyone's blades wet. The true warriors will begin to show themselves. I'll know more as we get close, as I look at it to see what's changed. So,
appreciate it. I'll leave you to it then.
Nuts. All right. And I think before Kurgana would come to all of you and see all of you. All right. So I will say with what they're talking about and what I think Kurgana is going to reveal here is you do have an opportunity for up to 2 weeks of downtime. You don't have to take both weeks, but you can. It took you a week to get here. So as a reminder, and it is a 13-week summer. And so think your options normally would be repairing ships, so you have not damaged any of your ships. Thankfully, due to partially of the amount of people you chose to leave behind. Had a lot to do with that. And then there is hunting, which raises morale and helps them people be more positive. There's gathering more resources, which they come mostly any of the resources you have, most really timber and iron. That allows you to, if you would like to get more of that, you can sail south to market to attempt to get more resources or recruit mercenaries. And then there's you can craft supplies. But those all taken as a group. But that is your summer downtime.
Cool. Would we have to use downtime as well as our travel time? Is that included in downtime, or is that separate?
So whenever you go to the next raid, that is all like one package to get there, to do the raid, and to get out of the said town.
Okay.
So that's like a week. And then after that, you've got your downtime.
Cool. So I suppose if we're all meeting, we can kind of discuss that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Goals there.
Yeah.
I just kind of see us gathering in a large tent, sitting around it, smoking a pipe.
Griff, how's Asphalt?
I nudge Griff.
Sorry, I'm muted. From what I gather, she's all there. But she's pretty fatigued. She'll be out of commission for a little bit. At least 2 weeks. Perhaps.
Yeah, let her get her rest.
Have time for rest, but as much can be spared.
Oh,
think-
Murphy, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tiny. I think what I'm going to say is going to drag the tent down a little bit.
Well, I was just thinking about ways to boost morale. And the truth is, we haven't hunted the animals in this part of the land before. And it might, enlighten our culinary skills and appetites if the clan were to come across some great victories in a hunt and find their own food and prepare it, and we could honor the dead as part of a large gathering and dinner for everyone.
What else?
Matt,
Yes.
how do the state of the wounded? I know there were only the 4 casualties, right? 4.
Yeah. The wounded were taken care of really during the raid by all your healing spells.
Yeah.
So they're doing really good. Like, that's why mostly they use it as a success. Like, they really go like, you took care of us in here, right? And so
Other than Asphalt, there really aren't as many wounded amongst the clan. But I do think Tiny's right. A bit of morale boost goes a long way.
And maybe some talk about I remember while we were fighting earlier, and Asphalt was trying to help, but ran so quickly into that room. I feel we're, especially she and I, being not as seasoned in warfare.
This isn't fucking war, Tiny.
Why are you talking to me like that?
Because you and Asphalt treated this like some sort of game, just running into a room without
I didn't
any
treat
of.
anything like a game.
You ran screaming at a wall like you were going to hug it. This isn't war. This is getting in, getting out what we need to live.
Excuse me, Corgana, but the people who used to yell at me, they're not a part of this clan anymore. And if you want to be a part of this clan, that's not how we treat each other.
Oh, but we go ahead and we cry about Sylvig at home, but then you go ahead and repeatedly kill people, leaving them behind, so that way there's plenty of Sylvigs where we leave.
I do just want to pause because I know is this a bit too intense as far as the voice structure here?
I can change if necessary.
Do we need to put it back?
Oh, I'm fine with RPing it out.
Okay,
I'm just
cool.
RPing.
Cool. It was more just because I know yelling has come up before, and so that's why.
Oh yeah. If it gets to the point
Okay.
of that, I'll definitely put a pause.
Okay.
to it.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, that is good for me to know.
I was just checking in because I know it was before. Cool. Continue.
Okay.
Corgana, I know you're mad. Everybody's mad. Everybody's hurt. But just try to remember where we direct that. It's not on our allies. We have to lean on each other and learn from each other and help each other. And I don't learn from that type of way. Not anymore. If you want to talk to me about strategy, I'll listen to you. I think that you have a lot of wisdom to share. But please don't talk down to me.
I'm sorry, Tiny.
I forgive you. I know you're feeling what I feel. I'm mad at myself too.
I don't think you feel the way I do, Tiny. And I hate every raiding season, Tiny. I hate that I don't want to get close to anyone because we don't know who's going to go home. I hate that we take lives and we take things so we can live, and yet we leave other people without their loved ones, those they care about, with nothing but death to take from it. We had opportunities to take what we needed, certainly today. This raid. And I admit when Asphalt went down, I stopped trying to spare lives too. But I felt like we had opportunities to save them and not inflict that pain and horror amongst others, even if they're not our own clan. We had opportunities to do that. And so I want to understand, just like everyone else wants to understand, what is our goals? What are our objectives? As this is not what I want.
Well, today I learned something very important. Because I didn't know I didn't know what our goal was, to be honest, and that scared me. But I think I know now what my goal is. You mentioned that you don't want to get close to people because you don't know if they're going to make it home. And I don't relate, but I do understand what you're saying. I comprehend it because to me it's the opposite. To me, in order to have a home worth going to, there has to be someone I know, someone I'm close to. And it used to be Cole. And when Cole fell, I realized there was no one. I was just by myself, hidden away in a old building, taking care of dogs, much like I used to. And so I one day woke up early, went to the chief, and prepared myself to beg for anything, any job. But when I got to him, for some reason that day, I said, I'm here to take the place of Cole. And I was given that opportunity. And I have gotten to know many people in the clan since then, not just in this tent, but outside there too, including our fallen. I admit I hate the fact that I didn't know all their names, but I remember them now. Morlug, Rufio, Jojo, Meldon. They each one has had a mark on our clan, and each one was loved by this clan to the point that they are now questioning these very things too. And I had to hear them question them before I started questioning them. My goal is for us all to get out of here, to just try to take some type of resource, whatever we need, but no more complete obliteration of buildings, no more complete destruction of life as if it's nothing. And my goal is to hopefully get as many people from the clan who's out there right now back home to their families who are close to them and who have a reason to go home.
That would be nice. What about you, Bjork? What do you want from this?
I agree with Tiny. So I put forth this question to the group. Do you think it's possible for us to do a raid and do non-lethal damage to the people versus lethal damage? Only do lethal damage if it's absolutely necessary.
We have a lot of casters and a lot of people who like to shoot things.
I was thinking about that, Corgana, and I wondered if there's a way I could modify my arrows to make them less about piercing and more about, blunt object hit overhead, knockout, and that sort of thing. I was going to talk to some of the people here, or maybe we could go and talk to Market, but
What if we could find some sort of sleeping agent to tip the arrows in?
oh, that would be good.
There's a time for killing. But we left. That village now has so many Sylvigs in it now. Based off of our actions. Is it fair that it's theirs and not ours? And then when does the cycle stop?
Well, isn't there a way that we can make them an annex to us? That we can maybe try to protect them in the future from other raids?
We're here to take stuff that we need to survive back home. Do we have more resources to give to an annex? I don't think so.
Wait. I didn't even think of that. We've taken all this stuff. I don't feel great about it. What if we did leave or bring it back and leave it to where the people could reclaim some valuables and maybe go and get why are you laughing at me, Corgana? And they could, buy a ship.
I offered for them to come be part of our clan. 6 came. 6. They want to stay here despite all that winter is going to bring them. And this is their right to do so. But, Tiny, if we give things back, now the mood is already sour that people here, our own clan, have sacrificed things. If we give things back, they're going to be like, oh, so we're now valuing the lives of others over our own and what we need back home. It's going to make morale even worse.
Yeah.
And we need what we took. Then people are going to be like, oh, we had ours die so we can give some of things back that you took the extra time for. That is just asking to be questioned where our loyalties lay. That's not practical. If that was what we really wanted, we shouldn't have gone this far in the first place. So, I don't think that's a good answer in this case. Finding a better solution to deal with people that won't give up when they're beaten would be acceptable. I'm going to talk to Griff later about why he felt that my acceptance of the challenge for one-on-one combat was about honor and not about saving the most lives as possible, as it was just an old man, and probably would have taken us faster to get things done if they chose to honor it. But we all make decisions, and we have to work together, yes.
Well, we should discuss those then before one of us volunteers for such a thing.
I didn't know it was going to be on the table because it wasn't something I was expecting. It just seemed most...
No, I mean, like, days in advance. Like, if we come to such and such situation again, how do we approach it? Or who has the right to challenge? And is it okay if so-and-so challenges, but not so-and-so? There's so many questions. But nonetheless, it was a big... I mean, the whole thing, I don't even like to think of it now. It was a big mess.
You should think of it, Tiny, because you learn most from your failures as to what you like, what you didn't like, even if it sucks. Because if you don't think about it and you make those mistakes again, those people that you want to remember, what price did they pay for you not to learn the lesson?
The people who are dead?
Yes, they paid with a price for you to learn this lesson with their lives.
They paid both ways.
Yes, and so for you not to think about it and not to learn would mean that someone else would have to pay that price again in the future.
Unless they paid it forward. I don't really know what we're talking about, Corgana. I'm going to be honest.
It's okay.
But
we'll talk more about it. Griff, your thoughts?
I don't think we'll survive the winter if we keep trying to give back what we've taken. That's the whole point of these raids, so that we survive the winter. Perhaps we can look into avenues where we aren't killing, but at some point we're taking things from other people, and most of them are willing to fight to the death to keep what they have.
No arguments here, Griff. So what is it that you want from this summer?
I want us to survive it.
At whatever cost?
Maybe not at the cost of the people that we are.
Is that the
I
one-
won't ask Tiny to harden her good heart. Or Bjorg. Just the same as I won't ask Orin to stop being pragmatic. But I definitely think that we need to take what we learned from this raid and apply it to the next.
Hist.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it might seem cold, but the lives of the other people don't really weigh on me as they do for you guys. I don't
Really?
really think about it.
Not even Rufio?
No, not really. It's just a state of life I've learned is kind of the way that the world works. I can't say I'm particularly happy about the fact that one must kill others and steal what they have to survive, but, you know, I can't argue with the effectiveness of it so far, nor can I say I have any avid solutions to solve it.
But if we as a group decide non-lethal damage, are you willing to go with that? Non-lethal unless it's absolutely necessary. There will be times where it will be necessary for lethal damage.
To
Above
be fair, his can't even do non-lethal.
yeah,
So here's the
Like-
thing: the only way you can do non-lethal is if you're in melee. If you're not in melee, you cannot non-lethally attack people.
Okay.
So, like, you can't throw a dagger, you do crossbow. Like, that is the only way, and it's meant to be that way because basically, if you want to be merciful, you have to put yourself in extreme danger. And so, it is. That is. It's not. It's not easy to. The more merciful, the harder and harder this will be. And that
I
is
wasn't
by
sure if
design.
they had changed that in the new rules or not because I hadn't
Nope.
read.
Nope.
They kept it like that is because their whole idea is that like you have to put effort and endanger yourself.
Gotcha.
It's meant to kind of give that more quandary.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think that's a big ask, Bjorg. I think that we don't have to do it so viciously. I think that we can take opportunities, and I will strive to when they present themselves. But to put our own selves at risk,
Plus, logistically speaking, if we're taking all their stuff and still leaving them alive, they're just gonna die in a few days, much slower and more painfully.
So, this is the life we live, Bjorg. But I'm very happy that you all stepped up today. More than I expected, frankly. And Tiny, I'm very happy I don't have to be disappointed in you for killing the unconscious person.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I just kind of was acting on, I don't know. It was like Asphalt kind of gets me in a certain way, and I guess when I thought Asphalt was dead, it was like I wasn't really there. It was sort of like when I got possessed, except I could still see.
I stopped trying to save lives then too. But
Well, not to dull what we're talking about, but I had brought up the hunt. Was that something we could do, or do you think we should focus more on mining or going to market?
I think that we should try to boost morale because we need them willing to follow us.
Hunting will
And-
do that.
What's that?
Hunting will definitely do that.
Yeah. So we need them to be willing to follow us, not be disappointed in us, and decide that they don't like what we're doing. We need them to survive as much as they need us.
Yeah, because next time when we finish a raid, I think we should approach it. I think what you said, Corgana, like not forgetting what happened, but knowing what happened and just doing better. And then we can remember the names of Rufio, Jojo, Meldon, and Morlock. And maybe we'll even say their names together 3 times at the end of every raid.
I wasn't that close. I'll leave that to you. You can do it for me, Tiny.
I will. I'll say Rufio a couple of times just for you, and I'll really extend on the O.
So it goes like Rufio.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm down to go hunt. I think we should prepare because we got some materials. We can use that to make it so that people's lives can be... Like, we got a ram from raiding. That's going to be useful for the next wall we run into. Maybe even allow you to go running right through it next time, Tiny.
I hope so. I really thought that wall was going to break.
I think we should also be a bit more pragmatic as to where our strengths lie. And frankly speaking, Asphalt's not here. You all, or at least the majority of you, put so much faith in them. For hopes for a future, I guess. I think it is easier to replace the likes of me, or Rufio, or Meldoon, who go running into things.
Or me.
Tiny, there we go with the self-depreciation again.
Sorry,
But-
my years of being a thrall.
You make Asphalt smile and keep them grounded. It's not easy to have someone in a leadership position who can tell you the truth. So no, you're not easily replaceable.
Neither are you, Corgana.
Yep.
Clan Volgaire, there are a dozen in a household.
That doesn't make you any easier to replace.
Yep. And you know, Corgana, you may not be trying to get close to anyone, but I'm getting closer to you.
As are we all, I am sure.
I scoot a little closer.
It's just the glare. You don't want to be close to me.
Yeah, I do.
You don't, Tiny.
You've already taught me a lot today.
It's the difference between teaching and getting close.
It means I'm depending on you.
All right. So is it hunting first?
I believe so, yes.
If everybody's cool with it.
Yeah. Hunting party.
All right. So to start out with, I need a chief tracker.
Oh, I think I can do that. My wisdom's pretty decent, but I also know that Griff's pretty decent. But I will volunteer at least as a ranger.
All right. Do
There's
that.
also inspiration in chat.
Oh, nice. That's right.
Yes. So first one's finding the tracks.
Okay.
We need a survival check.
All right. I'm going to use that inspiration. See if we can do this. Oh, 23.
All right. Very nice. Taking your time here. This week, you find a game trail to hunt. And then I need someone who's going to stalk the game and clear a path. This is going to be a stealth check.
I think that should be me. And is there still any inspo in chat?
There
I don't.
is.
I think
Okay.
there's one more.
Okay. If everybody's okay with that, I'm going to use it.
Oh, two more.
Okay. 29.
Ooh, very nice. I like it. All right, so in that case, you are able to clear a path and gather your party here to surround a group of deer that are feeding in a meadow. And so I need everyone to make a ranged attack roll.
Yes, yes, yes.
If mine is a spell range to spell attack roll, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was like, can I Eldritch Blast the deer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Is it going to obliterate a deer if I put a hunter's mark on it, or would it just be just a?
Do you get a do you get a to hit for that?
No, but it causes more damage.
Won't
but it
matter.
also-
I'm looking for the attack roll.
Okay.
I got a nat 1, which I feel like really fits his.
Okay,
That's
so what's the total for Hist?
8.
So I got an 8,
A
I rolled a
13.
I rolled a 2 and got a 9.
15, 9.
Uh-huh.
I think I need 2 more.
I got a 9 as well.
I rolled a
9.
nat 1. The ranger with the nat 1.
Oh no!
Range
What does
roll.
Tiny get?
Well,
Total of 10 with my
10.
nat 1.
Okay,
well,
cool.
Do our range people get to use the magical +1 longbows that we got?
Sure.
Sure.
So that that's an 11.
I guess so, yeah.
There we go. Okay. Let me average this up. This might not have been
Oh,
overly
for that.
successful.
It's consistently on a good average of about 10.
Well, so you do get the benefits of the checks in the average, which is at least something.
Okay. Yes. Standard deviation is not very large until
Yeah, 23, 29, and then we get to the 8. 13, 9, 11. Okay. Oop. All right, so that is an average of 15.
Oh,
Nice.
So unfortunately, you do not gather enough to make a difference to the morale of the people, though it is appreciated.
Okay. Well,
So the lowest tier, now we've gone through the ones, is you have to get 25%.
I mean, we'll still use it as part of the ceremony for the 4 fallen dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So people are eating. I mean, the ceremony go nicely, and they're ready for the next one. You could just get like bonuses to your next raid. Is kind of what you were looking.
The meat's too stringy.
And it's pretty significant too. So like, it's, if you can make it happen, so to you. That is the first week as you prepare for it. And it's up to you if you want to move on from here or take a second week.
I think maybe we should move on and like is there like the potential that we could scout out use the extra week to scout out the next area?
You get a lot of intelligence from Harafin, honestly, for the next one.
Okay.
Well, you might be able to do something like that if you wanted.
My only question is this: considering what the morale is, does the morale, based on where it's at, negatively impact our abilities to move on?
No.
Okay.
No, this would have just been a bonus. It wouldn't have been a. You're not defeating a negative.
Okay. And my second question was, other than the hunting, I didn't notice any other of the activities mentioned about morale. So I'm assuming none of them would have a big impact on morale if we tried them.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it's like if we go down south to the market, we bring back a bunch of booze, but
Yeah, well, that actually would have helped a lot. All right. Yeah, I'm fine with us moving on.
Okay, none of the crafting. So, in that case, we go to what is because then I want to go over what special raiders you all got because you did a number that became a special raider. But let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
right. So I know you should have been keeping track of the special raiders.
I showed that we have 2 special warriors.
Cool. Then over on the raiding channel of the Sunday Velica, I went ahead and listed a few that you can choose. So you can choose 2 of those then, as far as who you want to have, and you can give a name too.
So this raises a question of how do we get with animal assistance at a location? How does that work, Matt?
So the Beastmaster would have one with him.
Okay.
I like that one. I like Tempest Summoner a lot.
Yeah, the big thing with the special ones is if you do incur any casualties at a location, they are always killed first.
Oh, wow.
That's how the specialized ones work.
Okay.
As an interesting note too, if you do hire mercenaries, versus by the one thing that I had said, you are able, the mercenaries die first as well. So mercenaries kind of are a bulwark against losing some of your clan.
I mean, that.
Well, by that rule, the battle shaman. Now, the next rating turn, that means just one of the roles on the rating piece, or since we have 2 leaders, it would be applied to both of them, Matt?
So the next turn, yeah.
Okay, so both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So the battle shaman protects itself on at least the next one.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
We're talking about special people.
Okay.
We learned that if you get mercenaries, the best part is if people die, the mercenaries die first.
Oh, good to know.
And the special people, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would be mercenaries, then the specials. But
yeah.
Now you have mercenaries, but it's just who they are.
All right.
Sorry, I missed the part about the special people. Are those people from in the clan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just sort of extra abilities and things like that, like boons.
Yeah, so in the last raid, because you rode so high, you got 2 special raiders.
I see. Cool. So they're very useful, but they go down first. Got it. Do mercenaries, do they have boons?
No.
Okay. So they're just nice as like basic, like above table. They're just nice as like basically fodder for the people that do have boons. Okay.
Makes sense. Like if we did spend that week getting mercenaries, what, from our knowledge, what would a reasonable amount of gold per in a week's time
Yeah, I'm gonna need to go back up there so I can give you some good answers here. So yeah, so that's sailing south to market. So mercenaries can be hired for 10 gold a week, with the first week paid up front. No more than 10 mercenaries can be hired per week.
Okay. I'm not opposed to that. At the same time, I'm totally fine with us moving on. I don't feel strongly one way or the other. Just looking at the specials, I've already kind of voiced my opinions, but how's everybody else feeling?
I don't know anything about the specials.
On the rating channel on the Discord, I was looking at them. The ones I liked were the Tempest Summoner and Beastmaster, but I haven't heard from anyone else yet.
I like the Beastmaster. I pseudo like the Bottle Shaman because they protect themselves at the cost of possible potential future issues, and gives us a second, get out of rating free card because of one of the other commanders we chose. So,
Do we have a Bloodseer already?
no.
I like that one.
That also matches with what we have with one of our commanders as well, but I like that as well. I'm with you on that, Aiden.
I kind of like the Battle Shaman and the Shadow Scout.
I like the Beastmaster and the Shadow Scout.
All right, so
A lot of
Beastmaster
Beastmasters, so definitely.
has about 3 votes, and a couple of them have 2 votes. Like, could anybody tell me which ones had 2 votes as well?
I believe the Shadow Scout did.
Shadow Scout, the Bloodseer, and the Battle Cleric. Or no, the Battle Cleric did not. I'm sorry, my mistake.
The Shadow Scout and the Bloodseer.
Yes.
So those are the 2 that have 2. Okay. I think I haven't voted for either one, so let me look at those real quick too. Once per raid. And you said the Bloodseer and the Shadow Scout, correct?
Yes.
They're both good. I think I think for me, the one that's the closest to what I was liking was Shadow Scout, because it also lowers defenses. So I'd be totally willing to vote for that as well.
Cool. Sounds good. I think, to me at least.
Sounds like we just need names then.
Yes, we could name them our fun. Yeah.
I think that's the fastest we've ever come to a decision.
Efficient.
Very cool.
So which of our Bleeding Hearts wants to toss out names so we can cry over them later?
I'm gonna make your heart bleed, Karkana.
Aardvar and Tim.
Oh no.
We're laughing now, but Tim's gonna become iconic.
Tim and Aardvark.
Aardvar.
Aardvar.
Tim.
Tim. Little Timmy.
So who is who?
Aardvar is the Beastmaster, and Tim is obviously the Shadow Scout because he's dark and edgy and mysterious.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I picture him more of a preppy type. Got his nose in the books.
Very cool. All right. So,
So, did we also want to talk about possibility of getting mercenaries, or are we good with moving on? Or is anybody else? I guess I should have phrased it like that because I was the only one I think who voiced an interest in it.
I kind of want to move.
Works for me.
As cool as it would be to hire some mercenaries, I kind of want to move.
Very well. We shall set sail.
okay. Cool.
Sorry, I was muted. Real quick before we move on. I'm totally fine with it, but what are we like? Do we know what we're moving on to?
Oh yeah, we haven't even discussed where we're going, have we?
It's been mentioned, and Corgana would have shared that in the where we got cut short or things got, but that Raffin's going to give us more information as we get closer to a more fortified place called the Kirkbridge as a likely place.
Okay. We went really well last time, mostly, but if we use this extra week, we do lose time overall, right? Like this, if we can't, it's not like it's just like another week. Like we only have a set amount of weeks in summer, right?
13.
Right, but you are this you have this week to do other things still. Like it's up to you.
So we
So
either
other-
use it or lose it.
No, that's what I'm
No.
saying.
Oh,
You're not sitting around, so it's you have to do other things. So at another time, if you so.
okay.
Okay, I'm
So we
good
can just
now.
push it
I
forward.
just want to make sure we weren't losing the week.
Correct. Yeah, I wasn't like yeah.
We're just doing the raid technically like a week before we need to do it.
Yeah, so basically, what the chief had communicated was that he thinks it's safe to stay here up to 2 weeks, and
Okay.
then the rest was yours. And if you felt you're good, because you didn't get a lot of casualties, so you might not feel like you need a lot of stuff, but that's gonna
Save it for when we're in desperate need. All right.
All right. So, yeah, and then so a lot of things I did this time where we're talking about a lot of stuff, I was highlighting because the negatives get more intense each raid, and this first one to the second one is from my looking at it very intense bumps. So I was highlighting that to just give that sense, so that you can just have these ideas. Because at the same point, you need to conquer, you need to get glory, and you need to have supplies for winter. So it is like, but it's good to kind of get some of this. So, making that thing. Alrighty. Then you continue to move here as you break camp. And we get going down here. So you do even more over here. Now you continue your trek here. Strange creaking and chittering echo through the trees as you march. And though Chief Raven of Scare tells the warriors that it's not but the wind and beasts, few believe him. The raiders begin murmuring about the beast, an ancient legend of the Barakai people. They say it is a massive wolf or bear, though they fear something worse. But whatever it is, the beast is a horrid thing that tore itself from the womb of the woods and supped first upon the corpses of the gods themselves. Camp is made in the woods, and the scouts can see your next destination, the town of Kirkbridge, in the distance. But morale is falling. The woods themselves seem to be draining the hope from your raiders' hearts. What would you like to do?
Gorgano would, as like to stay away from everybody else, but seeing things as they are and knowing how raiding is, would like to, as we move through and camp through this forest, spread enthusiasm and cheer, to bring memories of people to home and what they did well in the previous raids, or just talk about positive myths and things that they can do to keep spirits up. Essentially, he would like to try and offset some of that.
All right, give me a performance check.
Okay. We have one of those advantages still running around?
Yes, we definitely do.
This seems like one of those places to use the it. I will go with a 23.
Very good. Reminding them of these things, you find that they are able to get their spirits up. You feel that they, as camp is being made tonight, they are much more situated, and their heads are out of their own selves. Anything before you go to sleep on this night before the raid, it seems? Or before you try to get deeper into this?
Tiny would like to take one quick moment with Hist.
Mm-hmm.
Hist. Hey,
Yes.
I've always wondered why you always wear the mask. Is it to intimidate your enemies?
Yes.
Do you want me to help?
Help how?
I could paint some things.
Oh, sure. I don't really mind.
Okay. Maybe like a snarling teeth, sort of like mine.
Yes, that does sound actually quite lovely. I would prefer if I didn't have to take it off, though, if at all possible.
Of course. I've just realized that I've never actually seen you before, Hist. So I sit down and take out some paint to begin creating a some type of war mask for him to make him look a little bit more intimidating.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen me before.
No, I don't think I have. I mean, I don't mind if that's, if that's your thing. I'm cool. I just wanted to let you know that, if you ever wanted to take it off, you can. No one here would think any less of you or anything. I mean, I admit I don't fully know the reasons for the mask, but if it's a comfort thing, that's cool. If it's like a traditional thing, that's also cool.
It's
I just-
it's mostly a comfort thing.
Oh, I actually get that. I get that a lot. You see, I wear a bracelet on my arm here. It's got some tiny animal teeth on it. It's from a long, long time ago. I had a pet when I was a thrall. I was allowed to keep one. And well, it's a reminder that not everybody in the world is kind, but
What happened to your pet?
I don't really want to talk about that. But I will say that after having something awful occur, I sort of realized that because not everybody else is so kind, that it's all the more reason why I need to be doubly diligent in trying to be better, because there's awful people and sometimes you have to make up for all the bad.
I think you do well enough of that. I haven't met many outside of this group, but you're a very good person, Tiny.
Oh, I mean, I try to be, or at least I try to treat everybody the way I'd want them to treat me. And
I guess what I said's not accurate. You're a very good person compared to what my moral code is.
oh, what is your moral code?
I don't really. It's hard to explain in what instances and what formats. What's the situation? What's occurring?
Okay,
Who's
I'll
there?
give you a situation. Let's say that you have an apple and you're passing by someone who's really hungry. Do you A, hide the apple so they don't see it? B, offer them the apple? C, eat it in front of them? Or D, don't worry about it at all. It's because it's your apple.
I guess I would give them the apple. I don't really need it.
So you're a good person.
I mean, but that's out of a lack of necessity. That's not out of a
It's out of the goodness of your heart.
no.
It's okay to say it.
No, it would not have been. It would have been out of a lack of necessity for the apple.
I think we're saying the same thing. All right, all done. I tried to go a little bit light just to kind of touch it up in the areas that you have already so that it's not overbearing. And I think it looks really good.
He'll still look at it in a mirror, and he'll kind of perk up a little bit. Like he usually slouches. He'll like perk up a little bit at it. Is he like does look at it like he's happy, like leaning back and forth, checking it at different angles. Oh, and Tiny, if you ever want to tell me what happened to your pet, I'm eager to learn.
Well, I don't. Well, I don't.
You can
really
tell by
wanna-
that he's trying to be comforting.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing I did or anything. It was just when I was a thrall, there was just
I guess they considered me a joke for a while. And they used my pet as a means of trying to humiliate me. Like I said, there are bad people in the world.
Yes, it's such a terrible thing what some people do.
And I think that's why I need to be doubly careful with Corgana. I think Corgana needs a mother figure. Me.
I won't stop you, but I don't quite think that's what Corgana needs. I think Corgana just needs to know that it needs to get to understand a little bit of stability. You know, recurrence.
Yeah. I know. Well, thank you for talking to me, Hist.
No problem.
Gonna
Happy to
head off.
talk anytime.
Yeah. So she will make her way out.
I would like to find him in a moment with Griff at some point in this evening.
You would probably find Griff coming back from making sure that Asphalt's okay in like the little area sectioned off for like the healing tent or whatnot.
You doing okay, Griff?
Yeah, just monitoring Asphalt.
And how are they doing?
Good. I don't really have much experience in the way of the Undying Flame. Not like Mana did.
I've heard rumors about Mana, but what is Mana, or who is Mana to you?
Do you know of the story of Limgiri Lightbringer?
Something of it?
My old clan was named after her. And she was a devoted follower of the sun. And much of Clan Limgiri similarly worshipped the everlasting light that is the sun, the shreds of divinity that still remain. But there was also the other side, that everything dies in the end. And eventually, we're all going to just do that. Die. That preventing death itself is wrong. That's what I was raised in. The Rokva.
And yet you did it anyway.
I was young when my parents died, and I was left to fend for myself. And, well, in Clan Limgiri, everyone takes care of each other, regardless of where you're from. Doesn't matter how you're raised. Mana was a devout believer in that life itself continues on
regardless, even after death, that the flame that ignites your soul is something stronger than even death. And she proves it. When she died, she didn't die. She told me that that I shouldn't give up, that I should keep fighting. And I told her yes. And now we exist together as part of the same being.
Kinda jealous of you, Griff. I remember being married and what life was like and how it was the best thing to come back to after raiding season. I'm jealous that you still get to spend time with them. And that you have found a way to be hopeful despite it all. I don't know if I'm ready to find that peace or acceptance that you've found. But I'm glad that you're a light to at least look upon from time to time in that regard. And I'm sorry for bringing up painful pieces, but thank you for sharing. I'll let you get your rest.
For what it's worth, Corgana, every day, the best thing that we can do is find that one thing that keeps us wanting to come back.
I have that one thing. I just don't know if that one thing is just a phantom at this point. But thank you, Griff. Thank you.
Griff gives you the good old shoulder pat.
And Corgana just blinks and rubs their eyes while you're doing it as if there's no wetness there whatsoever. And
No, there's no tears. There's no tears on our faces.
Nope.
Nope.
And just pretends to ignore the ones on Griff's and has a big gleaming smile and goes off to make sure everyone else is happy for the evening.
I'm going to make more bandages.
Very cool. Then anything else? All right. As the night goes and sleep can find those of you sleeping, as you get used to the noises and howls of the woods, You jolt awake as a blood-curdling scream tears through the camp. Outside your tent, one of your guards stands over a humanoid corpse. The guard's chest is spattered with blood, and her spear still protrudes from the corpse's stomach. You quickly realize that the corpse isn't Valican, but an elf whose face is covered with war paint. One of their scouts, the guard says, trembling. He had magic. Everyone else was frozen in place, but I was somehow able to move.
You did really well. You did really well. I'm going to kind of go up and check and make sure they're okay first.
You see that their body still trembles a bit. The exertion of resisting powerful magic. But otherwise they are good.
Must be very... Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to ask, if I can't identify on a body, can that tell me anything?
Only if they're like under magic or something.
Okay.
Must be very strong-willed.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Between our raid that we did the end of the raid and now, have we gotten a long rest?
Yes.
Nice.
I
Well, that's
just
right, we
need to
took the
know
week.
for spell slots.
you spent a week for downtime. Yeah.
All right. I was going to look at these. I assume other people too, but that war paint on their face, does it look like the type of war paint from the elves that we kind of ticked off?
It does. They do have that feel to it, but also seems like they bear uniform of the Buraki Empire here.
Interesting.
Do you think this is possibly related to what happened? I mean, with me earlier, with being possessed and all that stuff.
I mean, there could have been part of the Elven segment that moved out from here to move closer to where we are. Or that, but this individual, I think that it's just more of tradition amongst the long-lived people.
But why attack us right now?
They
This
got
felt-
caught.
It feels like they planned this out. Clearly, they knew our layout.
Griff will kind of like come over in a hushed tone and be like, if we can sequester the body, I think I can tap into whatever's left there and perhaps ask it some questions.
Are any of our guards lying dead?
They all look alive.
Are they able to move?
Now, yeah, they all describe having their bodies lock up and watching this elf come forward with a knife ready to effortlessly cut their throats before this last one broke and was able to move and
Let's
pierce her through the back.
How many
Position-
guards?
5.
Oh, 5. Oh, jeez.
Let's position someone nearby who can watch the guards and make in case this happens again, they can alert everyone.
Somebody head in, yeah.
Chief is up as well and goes, right, you all take positions because this isn't good. They'll know if a scout doesn't return. We need to think about moving quickly to our attack.
Yeah, and I think Griff is right that we need to find out as much as we can from this,
He nods.
and then we can move. Maybe everyone else can start taking down the tents while we all gather with the body.
Yes.
I think some of this is kind of obvious. That we are passing through their woods and they feel threatened.
Or maybe that's what they want us to think.
We're much further south, right, Matt?
I'm talking about the elves that live here, not
Oh, okay.
the people that live here.
Oh.
That we are passing through their territory, and they are trying to protect their land. Bjorg would like to search the body.
Okay. Searching, you do find a dagger, one vial of poison. Does like you see also an empty vial of poison. Seems like it poisoned their weapon. Likely to deal about 5 or 66 should they get everyone. Look like there were, from what you can tell from their gear, you don't think they were thinking of killing all of you, but maybe just taking down your night guard and then reporting back.
Okay, Bjorg will take that dagger with its poison on it.
Yeah, which the poison's going to wear off in about 10 minutes. But
Right, that's fine. And the vial.
Yep.
I would assume the elves in this area know about raiding season, correct? I mean, this wouldn't be their first time seeing people pass through, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't bother with us if they knew we were passing through unless there was something we had they wanted or if this was personal.
Again, they might be doing the same thing we are. Taking what they can from those around them to survive the winter.
That's a good point.
About Fable, weren't they wearing the armor of the people we're going to raid?
The Baraki Empire.
And yeah, I think they're probably on their side. One of their scouts, considering the armor.
Maybe the Baraki Empire has made an alliance with the elves here. That would be frightening. What do you need?
Oh, go ahead, Tiny.
No, you go right ahead.
I was going to say we need to move then. As the chief has stated, the scout will go missing and not unnoticed, and let's up a flag that something is wrong.
What do you need, Griff? Just us to move them into a tent or anything else?
Yeah, just that. It's just, well, the last time I saw it tends to be a bit unnerving.
Okay.
Griff, before you do this, is this going to take away from what you can do when we raid now?
Possibly, but we've gotten quite a bit of rest in during the week. Depends how soon we immediately start our next raid.
If we delay
Basically, I will be down 1 3rd level spell slot.
Uh-huh.
And that's it.
At the trade-off of...
It's a lot.
That is the knowledge. That is the trade-off of
levels.
knowledge.
Yes, but there's no guarantee that the knowledge is going to be good or useful. But okay, that's a you call. It's your call, Griff, but we need to move.
What do you want to do, Griff?
I'm going to question them.
Okay. I'll help you move the body then.
All right, so you take the body to a spot a little out of the way, away from the others. As how does Griff do this?
Griff sets up a pot of incense by their head and then by their feet, and then with a mixture of ashes and charcoal, paints a rune on their forehead,
and then takes like a thumbprint of it and puts it on their tongue, and then calls forth its spirit back from the veil itself to answer his questions.
Nice. And so this happens. Markings glow dimly. Oh, 1 sec here.
And visually it looks like a wisp has like kind of like sunken into the body, and it doesn't really move, but it's like head and shoulders kind of like lurch up a bit, so it's almost like it's pulling its like upper torso chest area like up as it speaks.
Yeah.
It's very kind of creepy looking.
Yeah. Slight levitates as it looks with its eyes slightly glowing with your holy ghostly power. What do you want to ask?
Who sent you?
Routine scouting mission.
I'm also writing all these down. What defenses are in Kirkbridge?
The gate is our primary defense. It's the most fortified, ready to kill the most people.
Are there any hidden entrances into Kirkbridge?
No. Just the holes in the wall.
What kind of forces will they send if you do not report back?
They will send a full defensive force and fortify the town.
When are you expected back or to report back? When are you expected to report back?
2 hours.
And I believe that's all 5 questions.
Very good.
We have 2 hours.
So 1 hour to raid. I mean, one. Wait, I'm sorry. How close are we to this stronghold?
I mean, probably a good hour to get there.
I guess if we start moving there right now, that's our only real great shot of hitting them without them seeing it coming. Might prevent the most casualties. Be in, out, do our thing, and move on. That's good information, Griff.
Right. If you join Chief Raffin, he will say, in the night, I had scouts of our own and go towards the town. I'm unfamiliar with the defenses.
Well, the other thing we know is that they'll just be a little bit more stronger after 2 hours.
You tell him you learned about the gates. And do you kind of tell him what you've learned?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a frontal assault would be dangerous and costly, but possible. Ours back up. What'd you say? You said about holes in the wall. The forests of Norderland have been laying siege to the town, it seems. The creatures of the woods have breached Kirkbridge's walls. And the forest has sprung up fast there. The forest entering through the wood is dangerous, but it might allow the raiders to get in without alerting the guards. In addition, found out Crookbridge is ruled by Vicar Clave Sulish. Therefore, I imagine the primary supplies here are going to be in St. Hermias Cathedral, the mighty church. It's also its most fortified location from our scouts. It's dedicated to the Archseraph Aphelion. In order to do anything, or have to either take one of the forest entrances or the gate.
What if we tried to do this not so much... Well, what if we approach completely from the point of view of a stealth? Get into that cathedral, get what we need, get out of there.
They're going to have guards and fortifications. You have to get in. He just says, it could be easy to die. Raiding seems to be the best. We get in, cause problems, and go full force. If you're stealth, one wrong move and the entire place becomes fortified.
Okay.
That's what I can tell, though. If we attack on the east, you have an easier assault to the church. But the west is where most of the resource-rich structures are. Now, the town is bisected by the Kirkrun River. In its center is a sturdy bridge of stone. It spans the entire river, which means we'll have to conquer it if we want to be able to move past the conflict zones on either side. Now, speaking of the river, I've prepared the longships to arrive at the town's edge during our raid.
Other than the bridge, is there anything else connecting these two areas of land beyond the river?
No.
And it's made of stone.
Mhm. But while it can provide reinforcements for the raid, the northern river gate must be held to gain the reinforcements.
What specific resources does Kirkbridge have?
Yes, I'd imagine what you would expect are timber and iron. Will help with all weapons and the gold to buy what else we need.
All right. So as far as our priority list here, what resource are we most in need of for winter? Like if we had a chart.
Yes, I mean all of that is good, like iron and what you've been able to get, timber. It's all pretty much, it's all necessary.
Food.
Yeah. I was thinking timber because of the fact that we've angered so many groups in those forests at home that it's going to take some time to heal that. And that way we won't have to spend as much time gathering lumber from home for a while. And if we put that as our chief prerogative on this raid, with our secondary being the iron, I think we can more reasonably manage a get in, hold things until we get that resource as much as we can out, and then tactically try to move on. But yeah, I think we need a very, very, very precise plan of when we're looking at our map. What are those targets? And how do we get into the west easiest? Is it through the Bridge River or is it through the wall? In either way, do we need to think about reinforcements, or should our priority be, no, we're not trying to hold it that long?
We need what's on the west side, Tiny.
Yeah, west, that's what I said.
Yeah, we need what's on the west. And then we get into our target of the cathedral on the east is whatever we can rip and tear from the walls and make out with as little difficulty and as expedient as possible for the most preservation of lives.
And I think if we put the cathedral at the bottom of our list, maybe it will not bring as much ire from this city.
Robin, what are the ships going to be able to do once we get them into the river?
Did you say Robin?
Robin.
Oh.
So what did you say?
What does he think? What do you think you'll be able to do with the ships once we get them into position beyond the gate?
It'll be another force to bring the reinforcements through. So you're not taking as many, and they don't have to come through the other gates.
Gotcha.
Plus, we can possibly retreat a little easier if we secure the gate.
Okay.
Are the ships wide enough to form a bridge instead of the stone bridge?
Could be possible. if you're able to take it beforehand, and hold it. It would be a bit rougher.
Do you have a rough map from the scouts that we could take a look at?
It does, and I was getting this here. So will give you all an idea. Put over here in rating. Put you on that. It's a map. It's a map. It's a map.
Maps. Alright, so T7 is the water bridge. T6 is that.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to form a bridge with your ships because that's 200 feet.
Okay. I wasn't sure how
More.
long the long ships were. But yeah, no, to fit the river, yeah. Okay. T3 is where we're talking about coming in.
Wait, which side's east? Oh, I see it. I see the compass.
Yeah. So we're talking about, or the entrance would be T3 from that. Otherwise, T2 is the main gate that they're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, T1 is the western forest incursion. T2 is the main gate. And T3 is the eastern forest incursion.
So T1 then? Is that where we're...
Well, T3 is the one that he was saying would be is more difficult, but would give us the ability to slip in a bit more unnoticed.
Oh, okay. That's the site with the cathedral.
T10, T11 is the cathedral area. I'm not sure what T8 or T9 are, and then 4 and 5 look to be the supply places. So
Yeah. And I think if we just completely bypass the cathedral, it'll give people, like the civilians anyway, a chance to get somewhere to hide and get out of the way. And then
that's where they're going to go, because
Yeah.
that's walled.
Exactly.
So
That's where I'm hoping they go anyway.
Yeah, and keep in mind that if they get away, that's less plunder.
Yes. So we want to secure it that quickly, and so that way they can't go there. But by taking that quickly, that gives them more time to reinforce the bridge, is my guess. As a strategic person here, that is the trade-off I would see going off with that.
All right. So you have a little bit of your information there.
Yep.
And what's next? And so we will end for tonight and come back with a raid next week. The general layout.
We have time to talk.
Indeed. So with that, everyone watching, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Night, everyone.